Hey guys, so today's video is on how to turn on your longboard. This is just to give you the basics of how a skateboard turns, how you should stand on your board, and really where to put your weight and pressure so that you can get the best turning possible. So if you're interested in any of those things, check out the video. So the first thing you're going to want to do to ensure you can turn well on your longboard is to be in a good standing position. And you'll know what a good standing position is if you've seen one of my latest videos. I will link it up here. It just shows you how to stand on your board, how to position your feet and all that good stuff. You're going to typically want to have your foot over the center line with like about the middle of your foot on top of the center line, and this will give you like the best balancing possible. You're either going to want to have your foot at a 45-degree angle or at a 90-degree angle, whichever is more comfortable for you. And you're typically going to want to stand closer to the front of your board with your foot over the front truck or closer to the front truck, and with your back foot on the middle of the board or over the back truck. Let's quickly touch how turning works on a skateboard. So turning works by applying pressure or weight on either your heels or your toes. You apply pressure on your toes if you want to turn to the toe side, and on your heels if you want to turn to the heel side, and this causes the skateboard to turn in the given direction. So to get the best turning possible, we have to manage how we apply and where we apply our weight. So yeah, then just for like a quick demonstration, so if I was to put weight on this side of my board, it'll cause this truck to compress like this and it turns. If I put weight on this side, it causes this truck to turn like this and it compresses. And basically the bushings allow you to lean and turn smoothly. And yeah, okay, let's talk about where you want to have your weight and where you want to apply pressure when you want to turn. Typically, you're going to want to have most of your weight on your front foot. You're going to be turning with your front foot, applying pressure on your toes, applying pressure on your heels, really digging into them. And turning with your front foot, having your weight up there is going to give you the best and most controllable turning. Turning from the back is going to make your board work like a shopping cart, and as you pick up speed, this makes the board twitch and can even lead to wobbles at like really high speeds. So yeah, you're typically going to want to turn with your front foot, and this will give you the best control. And in terms of where you should apply your weight and pressure, so if you want to turn to the toe side, you want to apply pressure on your toes, or rather on like the balls of your foot. And if you want to turn to the heel side, you want to apply pressure on the heels, or yeah, basically that. Now let's look at the how. So for different types of turning, you're going to typically do different things. Like if you want to turn really aggressively, it's going to be different from how you're going to turn if you want to turn like really like gently and in a mellow way. So let's look at that. If you want to turn slightly, just look where you want to go and sort of point your shoulders. By sort of just like looking and pointing your shoulders, you naturally make the board lean into the direction you're looking in. And yeah, if you just want to do a really mellow bend, just look where you want to go. If you're starting out, this will be the easiest way of figuring out how to control your board and just turn gently and make it down the road. Yeah, just look where you want to go and the board will follow. If you want to turn more or turn deeper, put pressure on your toes or your heels. By putting pressure on your toes, you naturally apply your weight, and this makes you turn in a more aggressive way. So yeah, just apply pressure and you'll turn more aggressively. Okay, but if you want to turn a lot and you want to turn aggressively and really suddenly, really push into the board, sometimes it might be helpful to be really sudden about it. Bending your knees really helps, and it really makes it easy to sort of push your weight into your front foot to really get that board to turn. Also, dipping your shoulders into where you want to go or into the direction you want to go also helps in sort of getting the board to articulate quickly and turn aggressively. And bending your knees really helps if you want to turn deeply, and you're typically going to be bending the front knee mostly, as that'll allow you to apply weight on that front truck and really get a stable, more controlled turn. Okay, now some quick random tips. First tip I have for you guys is tighten your back truck just a little bit, maybe a half to a full turn of your skate tool. Now this is just going to make it easier to turn from the front. For example, if your back truck is looser than the front truck, most of the turning is just naturally going to come from the back. Vice versa, if your front truck is looser than your back truck, most of the turning is just going to come from the front. So yeah, this will just help you naturally be able to turn with the front more, and it'll give you a more natural, stable ride. So yeah, turn your back truck half a turn tighter than your front truck. Next tip for you guys is watch out for wheel bite when you turn really aggressively at slow speeds. If you're just like cruising and carving at a really slow speed, just watch out for wheel bite. Some boards you can get wheel bite, for example the Comic Cruiser, and you can turn as deeply as you like and as aggressively as you like. For other boards, wheel bite is possible, so just keep that in mind when you're turning like really aggressively. Okay, so the last tip I have for you guys is always lead with your shoulders when turning. That'll allow you to keep balanced when you turn. And this is something that you just naturally learn to do, but I can see some people having trouble with it. If you're just trying to turn by putting pressure on your toes, it's not going to feel very balanced and stable. Kind of sometimes have to really dig into it with your shoulders, and I don't know, it just feels as though like when you turn, your shoulders do a lot of the work. So incorporate them and it'll feel a little bit better. But yeah, ultimately turning is just something you practice over and over, and something you will get better at naturally, and you'll naturally start seeing yourself doing some of these things and looking like some of the pros in the videos with your turning or whatever. Maybe the last tip could be just practice a lot. Practice, 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 and because you're having fun, it's not going to seem like practice, and you'll just naturally get better with time. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Big thanks to my patrons, big thanks to everybody who's subscribed so far. If this video has been helpful, please leave a comment, maybe like or something, and yeah, leave a suggestion for the next video if you have an idea or if there's something you'd like to see. Much love.